You saved for months. You planned the itinerary, you boarded the flight, checked into the hotel, visited the landmarks, posted the photos, and flew back home. And somewhere on the drive from the airport, you realized something quietly unsettling. Nothing really changed. You are the same person who left. That feeling is not a personal failure. It is the predictable result of how modern travel has been redesigned. Not for growth, not for discovery, for consumption. Today, we are going to talk about why travel stopped transforming us and exactly what it takes to get that power back. Let us go back to what travel used to mean. For most of human history, leaving home was genuinely dangerous. Routes were uncertain, languages were incomprehensible. You could not Google the address. You had to rely on strangers, improvise constantly, and sit with real discomfort. That friction was not a bug. It was the whole point. Psychologists have a term for this. It is called productive discomfort. When your brain encounters situations it cannot predict or control, it is forced to build new mental models. New connections form, old assumptions collapse. That reorganization is what we actually mean when we say travel changed us. Now compare that to today. Before the plane even lands, you have already booked the top-rated restaurant, mapped the walking tour, and saved 47 posts on Instagram. The experience is pre-digested, pre-validated. The mystery is gone before you even arrive, and mystery is what forces your brain to engage. Sociologist Dean McCannell wrote about this decades ago in his book, The Tourist. He argued that modern tourists are not seeking authentic experience. They are seeking the performance of authentic experience. We want the feeling of discovery without the cost of actual uncertainty. That bargain quietly destroys the thing we are after, and social media made it exponentially worse. The moment you pull out your phone to document an experience, you exit the experience. You become a producer of content rather than a participant in life. Your brain shifts from absorbing to broadcasting. Those are fundamentally different cognitive modes, and only one of them creates growth. So we have turned travel into a checklist. Visit this, photograph that, share here, get validation, move on. The checklist feels satisfying because completing tasks releases dopamine. But dopamine is not growth, it is just reward. And mistaking one for the other is exactly how we return from trips feeling subtly cheated. Here's what the research actually shows. Humans do not change through comfort. We change through what psychologists call schema disruption. A schema is basically your brain's operating manual for the world. It tells you how things work, what to expect, how to behave. Travel, real travel, breaks those manuals apart. When you are lost in a foreign city and your phone dies, something shifts. You start paying attention differently. You notice faces, patterns, gestures. You become humble. You ask for help and accept it gracefully. That sequence, confusion, then adaptation, is neurologically identical to learning because it is learning. Pico Iyer, one of the most thoughtful writers on travel today, puts it beautifully. He says that going nowhere is actually one of the best ways to go somewhere. His book, The Art of Stillness, explores how stillness and genuine presence are prerequisites for perspective. You cannot absorb a place you are rushing through. There is also something powerful about anonymity. At home, you are a collection of roles: employee, parent, friend, neighbor. Those roles constrain how you behave and even how you think. In a foreign city where nobody knows you, those roles temporarily dissolve. You are just a person. That is more liberating than it sounds. But here is the trap. Most of us recreate our social identity even while traveling. We post constantly to our usual audience. We call home every day. We travel in groups that preserve existing social dynamics. We protect ourselves from the very anonymity that could reset our perspective. We pack our identity in the carry-on. And without that identity reset, without sitting in genuine uncertainty, the psychological conditions for transformation simply do not appear. The trip becomes tourism. Tourism becomes consumption. Consumption becomes a slightly more expensive version of staying home. Nothing changes because you never gave change a chance to happen. So, what does it look like to travel in a way that actually changes you? Let us get practical. The first shift is abandoning the aesthetic of the journey. Stop optimizing for the photo. Stop planning for the story you will tell later. Be in the experience for the experience itself. That sounds simple. It is not. One concrete practice. When you arrive somewhere new, do not open a map for the first 2 hours. Walk. Get a little lost. Let the neighborhood reveal itself to you rather than revealing it to an algorithm. Notice what surprises you. Notice what makes you uncomfortable. Those reactions are data about your assumptions. Want to find a good restaurant? Do not check an app, ask a local, ask someone who is not in the tourism industry, ask the person at the corner shop, the woman waiting for the bus, the older man sitting outside his building. Be respectful, be genuinely curious. That conversation is part of the experience. And when that person recommends a place that turns out to be imperfect, that is fine. Maybe the food is unfamiliar, maybe the setting is loud or simple. Sit with it, eat it anyway. That slight discomfort, that willingness to be in an unoptimized moment is exactly where perspective lives. Comfort never surprises you. Second practice, use public transportation, not taxis, not ride apps, public buses, trains, ferries. Yes, it will be confusing. Yes, you might end up somewhere unexpected, but you will sit next to real people living real lives. You will observe routines, overhear conversations, feel the rhythm of a place rather than passing through it behind glass. Third practice, spend less time at landmarks and more time in neighborhoods. Landmarks are designed for tourists. Neighborhoods are designed for life. The difference is enormous. A landmark tells you what a place was. A neighborhood shows you what a place is. And what a place is will challenge your assumptions far more effectively. Finally, build in slow time, not scheduled downtime with a wellness activity, actual unstructured sitting. Find a bench, find a cafe, order something, and do not do anything else. Watch. Let the environment come to you instead of chasing it. Boredom in a foreign place is incredibly productive. Your brain will process things it has been avoiding. Here is a problem nobody talks about. Even when travel does shift your perspective, most people lose that shift within 2 weeks of returning home. The old environment, old routines, old social pressures, they pull you back into the exact patterns that made you feel stuck in the first place. The insight evaporates. To prevent that, you need a translation practice. Before you fly home, spend 30 minutes writing, not journaling about highlights, writing about specific moments that surprised you, challenged you, or made you question something you believed. Concrete moments. Then ask yourself, what does this reveal about how I live at home? What would I do differently? Author Rolf Potts explores this tension in his book Vagabonding. His core argument is that the spirit of travel is not about how far you go, it is about how present and open you are willing to be. And that willingness is something you can practice at home, in your own city, in your own neighborhood. That is actually the deeper lesson here. The things that make travel transformative, curiosity, discomfort, anonymity, presence, openness to strangers, they are not unique to foreign places. They are habits of mind. Travel just removes the excuses we use to avoid practicing them. The real work starts when you land back home. So the next time you travel, try this. Leave some days unplanned. Put your phone away for the first 2 hours each morning. Ask a local where to eat. Take the bus. Sit on a bench and do nothing. Be willing to be slightly lost. Be respectful of every person you encounter. And resist the urge to perform the experience for anyone. Travel does not owe you a transformation, but if you are willing to abandon the comfort of the curated experience to sit with genuine uncertainty and engage with the world without a filter, something real becomes possible. Not an Instagram moment, something quieter, more durable, and far more valuable than that. If this video shifted something for you, share it with someone who travels. Drop a comment telling us the last time a trip genuinely changed your perspective. Subscribe for more content on how to live and think more intentionally. And if you want to go deeper, check the links below for the books mentioned today. See you in the next one.